So I think I'm on. I'm going to try this again. I don't know if anybody's still there, but oh my goodness. I think what happened was I got a new button to press today that I shouldn't have pressed, and it is back. So I want to complete this today because I feel so bad when it's stopped by the wrong settings or internet crashing or whatever it might be. So what I've been doing, I'm going to be doing this sitting bobcat. Let me put this more where you can see what I'm doing. I have heated clay over here, and I'm going to just build up my main center of this sculpture. And I know this is a sitting animal, but I don't yet have the dimensions that that I plan to have in the end. And I'm going to make a plan on paper that you'll be able to download, and you'll be able to see exactly how I go about doing something like this and keeping the proportions and keeping it looking like a bobcat and not something dumb. One of the considerations, and I say this all the time, is when people make an animal sculpture, they very often make the head too big. And how to avoid doing that, it's just, I wouldn't say simple, but it's a matter of planning your work ahead of time. All I'm doing right now is just establishing my height. But then I'm going to go back onto this, and I'm going to be measuring all my dimensions as I add clay. So I'll be adding clay to this. And as you can see, it doesn't look like any, it looked like I was joking. I tried to do the live stream previously and it failed. And I was joking, this looks like I'm making a stalagmite, you know, the things that come up from the caves, the bottom of the cave. Oh, so anyway, it is, it's just a process of, at this point, I use Clayette, if anybody hadn't seen already, by Chavant. Let me get it right where you can really see it. And I use the hard because when it finally cools a little bit, it holds detail beautifully. So as we go along and we're doing this, I'll put our plans that I make up in the picture area where you can see that. I have a nice turntable here, and it's actually a little bigger than I need. And I might switch to this turntable as I go along too. The main thought is, though, I don't want it to get too high for you to be able to follow along. All right. There we go. Getting the height I want. I'm kind of envisioning it up to here, so I'm going to keep adding clay till I get that height. And then I'll bring it back and start measuring it. For Monday, you'll get to see the piece start to shape up. This is just a preliminary build up so I can establish the height I want of the entire sculpture. And I'm thinking I'm keeping most of the sculptures I make to like under a foot in height. 11 inches is even better. And the reason for that is, I guess you could call it a maquette. It might be considered a maquette, but what they can do nowadays is take a small sculpture and point it up with laser equipment in a foundry. So if you get the right foundry and they have that equipment, they can point it up to different sizes. If you wanted to do a more life-size bobcat. A life-size bobcat, I wouldn't be able to show on screen, so that's not such a good idea, but let's see how that works. All right, I think right now, and you know, I'm kind of trying to visualize what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this picture I have up on the screen, which is a picture we took years ago of a real, I mean, obviously it's a real bobcat. It was in Sedona when we lived in Sedona. So it was right by a wash, and it just sat there like it wanted us to take its picture. So you can see Chuck Oldham's name on that picture. All right. So I think And that's just a size. I'm just getting the size established and the base established. And I don't really necessarily want it sticking. I'll use a tool to get that up. On the other hand, I do want it sticking. So I can, when I want to take it off the base, I can just do this. If you want to see this tool, because I had to erase the other live stream, you can buy these. The wire goes right in, and then you can just screw it right in. So it's easier. Cindy, hi, you found me again. The last live stream had to be deleted. I'm so sorry. It was like all skipping, and I think I know what I did wrong. I'm always seeing some new button to push. I've got to stop pushing buttons, right? But this is the height of the new Bobcat sculpture. I'm kind of envisioning this. I want it to look nice, and life size would be out of the question because that's too tall for our demonstrations here. But I think we've kind of hit where we can kind of limit that. So I'm just getting the height, but coming Monday, Wednesday at the latest, we'll have the plans for this. This is the kind of sculpture you really need to have plans for, or it's very hard to look at it and do the proportions correctly. So that's the beginning. It looks like a stalagmite on a cave. You might want to stop right there and say, I made a stalagmite. People might be, paint it interesting colors. But anyway, we'll be back on Monday. And I will have fun with this, and hopefully you will too. And so I'll have my drawings and the free download link, and you can follow along with a new sculpture, Cindy. Oh my gosh. So thank you for coming on, and I will see you on Monday. And I hope you had a very happy holiday, and New Year's is coming. Wow. All our resolutions for sculpture and beyond.